In early 2025, a classified signal from China's National Space Administration leaked into the public domain for just 7 minutes, before being wiped from every server it touched. The message? A warning about an object known as 3I/Atlas, a body moving through the solar system on a trajectory no known law of celestial mechanics can explain. NASA declined to comment, issuing only a single word: monitoring. But deep space observatories across Asia report something else: anomalous light pulses emanating from its core, repeating every 11 hours. It began with a flicker. At first, it seemed like noise, an error in a telescope feed from Inner Mongolia. But within hours, that flicker became history's third recorded interstellar visitor. The object was designated 3I/Atlas, and to the global astronomy community, it appeared routine. A speck of light drifting through the void, until it didn't behave like one. Within days, the Chinese National Astronomical Observatory detected erratic shifts in brightness. The albedo, the measure of light it reflected, oscillated far beyond natural variance. Even stranger, its rotational patterns seemed to reset every few hours, as if something inside were actively compensating for spin. When radar data showed reflective peaks consistent with alloy, not ice, everything changed. The data vanished from public databases. Researchers were instructed to cease communication. Only fragments of early readings survived, copied by a handful of astronomers before being locked out of their systems. Quietly, China's Deep Space Network reclassified Atlas as a potential artificial anomaly. Military tracking stations took over observation. Their early radar returns revealed a haunting truth: 3I/Atlas wasn't tumbling randomly. It was stabilizing, adjusting its own axis in micro-movements too precise for natural objects. NASA, meanwhile, went silent. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory redirected its telescopes under vague instrument maintenance. But whispers leaked from analysts claiming Atlas's motion patterns responded subtly to radar pings, as though the object was listening. By late March 2025, its trajectory shifted by 0.09 degrees, a deviation too precise to be gravitational drift. Its new course intersected Earth's orbital path within months. Astronomers argued over possibilities: a miscalculation, radiation pressure, or something far more deliberate. Every known celestial law said it shouldn't be possible. Yet the data stood unbroken. And somewhere, far beyond lunar shadow, the object turned, as if acknowledging it had been seen. The signal arrived on a quiet night, a faint pulse buried in cosmic noise. April 12, 2025. A student monitoring deep space frequencies at Nanjing University noticed a narrowband wave repeating with mathematical precision. Every 11 hours, like clockwork. It matched Atlas's rotation period exactly. At first, the anomaly seemed harmless. Cosmic background radiation often plays tricks on sensors. But when the same frequency repeated in perfect phase alignment for 3 full rotations, the observatory went on alert. Analysts at the Chinese Academy of Sciences verified the data, and within days, the files were sealed. The frequency carried structured harmonics. The spacing of its peaks followed the Fibonacci sequence, a pattern rarely found in random emissions. When translated into sound, it formed a low mechanical hum, rhythmic and pulsing, like a machine breathing under pressure. 2 days later, NASA's Deep Space Network intercepted the same signal through its Madrid antenna. Public records show the feed was abruptly cut. Internal logs referenced containment protocol, and the data has never resurfaced. Employees working that shift were reassigned. China formed a covert unit, Project Heliograph, to study the transmission in isolation. Their goal: determine whether Atlas was emitting intelligence or reflecting an older one. But communication between the team and external researchers ceased abruptly in early May. The project's lead astrophysicist, Dr. Liang Su, disappeared mid-flight between Shanghai and Chengdu. His seat was found empty. His last encrypted transmission, captured by an amateur radio operator, contained only 5 words: "It's responding to something else." What something else meant remains the question no one can answer. Silence can hide chaos. While the public saw calm, NASA's internal channels burned with activity. New telemetry instructions went out to orbital satellites. Data from the Parker Solar Probe was reclassified overnight. On paper, Nothing was wrong. But insiders began noticing irregular patterns, telescopes being retargeted, logs being deleted in real time. At Goldstone Radar Complex in California, a junior technician noticed an unlabeled file, Object 07-3I/A. It tracked Atlas's course within millimeters. Freedom of Information requests months later revealed fragments of encrypted correspondence between NASA, the Air Force, and DARPA. Terms like phase alignment, adaptive propulsion, and containment readiness appeared repeatedly. No explanation followed. Then came the leak. A single image, a high-frequency radar scan showing hexagonal plating across Atlas's surface. The composition matched carbon fiber composites used in experimental aerospace structures, not natural meteorics. NASA denied the photo's authenticity, but the denial came too late. Independent telescopes confirmed identical geometry, six-fold and symmetrical. Days later, a blackout swept through NASA's monitoring satellites. Every data stream froze at 3:17 and 29 seconds Universal Time Coordinated. That same moment, sensors worldwide recorded a sudden deceleration in Atlas's spin, followed by acceleration along a new vector. It wasn't drifting anymore. It was driving. No propulsion flare, no visible exhaust. Just motion, deliberate, precise, impossible. And as scientists scrambled for answers, one truth began to form like a shadow behind the numbers. Atlas had changed direction by choice. The world watched, unaware. In late May, ground-based telescopes in China, Chile, and Italy detected a sudden burst of microwave radiation from Atlas. The signal lasted less than 3 seconds, but carried enough energy to alter its velocity by over 10%, a maneuver no natural object could perform. Spectral analysis revealed the impossible. The emission pattern matched that of a high-output ion propulsion system. But there were no visible thrusters, no debris, no heat plume. The pulse came from within. The Chinese Space Surveillance Network classified the data instantly. European Space Agency feeds were cut within minutes. Journalists attempting to broadcast the anomaly found their networks throttled and their footage removed. Meanwhile, in rural Australia, an amateur astronomer captured footage of Atlas glowing faintly at its edges. The light flickered in a distinct rhythm. Decoding software revealed a single Morse sequence, wake. The word spread quietly through encrypted science channels before being purged. Some theorized it was coincidence, the byproduct of radiation interference. Others saw intent. The message repeated once more 3 hours later, this time from the opposite side of the object. Whatever was inside Atlas, it had announced its presence. Then came silence. Tracking arrays lost its radar return for almost 6 minutes. When contact was restored, Atlas's coordinates had shifted 8,000 kilometers off its expected path, as if something invisible had steered it mid-flight. It wasn't falling anymore. It was choosing where to go. By June, the world's most powerful telescopes pointed toward empty sky. 3I/Atlas had vanished from every radar feed. China's National Space Administration issued a top-secret memorandum labeling the incident a Level Z anomaly. All transmissions, both civilian and military, were to cease immediately. But someone leaked a fragment. The memo described a structured return signal detected from Earth's upper atmosphere, a signal sent hours after Atlas's last known broadcast. Analysts determined it originated above geosynchronous orbit, not from Earth, not from Atlas, from something in between. Project Heliograph was erased overnight. Servers destroyed. Personnel reassigned or untraceable. In Washington, U.S. satellites quietly changed frequency bands, while NASA's director called an unlogged emergency meeting at headquarters. No minutes were kept. For 2 weeks, silence ruled. Then, an amateur astronomer in New Zealand captured a new glint beyond Mars, a faint metallic silhouette matching Atlas's structure perfectly. Except this one was motionless, not retreating into the void. Waiting. Astronomers speculate it may be dormant, conserving energy. Others fear it's listening. And somewhere between those fears lies the unspoken possibility that haunts every agency still tracking the anomaly. If Atlas was sending a signal, and something in orbit answered, then the message humanity intercepted, the one we were never meant to hear, wasn't addressed to us.